blast him to the body when he's trying to get away.
A couple of other ones for me, finally. What did you make of AJ McKee's performance against Patricio?
Beautiful. I just saw the finish, to be honest. But what I saw, that was, yeah, beautiful, calculated.
But AJ is someone that you want to take on, yeah?
Yeah, later on, yeah. Of course, if that's who I have to fight for the title, that's who I have to fight for the title. And second of all, last time when I fought in Paris, you weren't there.
I interviewed you.
Oh, you did?
I interviewed you in the cage.
Then it was Mohegan's son.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, people was asking me all kind of questions, and I see you looking hella slick with that suit and that with those guys. Who's your fashion guy? Where do you go? We need to talk about that afterwards.
We can.
I like
I will meet you in the bar. We'll drink
smooth
tequila.
as a mother.
So you, Mads. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Man, congrats on the win, man. Over here to your right. Do you think that was the best striking performance of your career? I know it seemed like on the microphone that was something that you really wanted to get out there. It was like, hey, everybody thanks me for my Japanese neckties and stuff, but...
So, yes and no. I had a fight in Cage Warriors, my last Cage Warriors fight where I pieced the dude up too. But I gotta fight smart. Like I always say, you need to fight with this hip and not that hip. And that's what I did today. Like, I don't go in there to fight with my balls to say, excuse my French, I try to use my proper head and fight the smartest way without taking damage. Like, yeah, and that was the plan today. I knew if I just went in there today and tried to fucking hunt the takedown, I would gas out. And he would start to do Emmanuel Sanchez just like a machine, just start going and you can't stop him. So yeah, just touch him, and then take him down when I could.
I couldn't help but notice when you came in the room, your leg's a little banged up. How did that happen, and what do you think's going on there?
I tried to chew his low calf up, and yeah, that's how it happened.
I think that a lot of people saw this fight as, hey, this is your breakout kind of performance. Like, do you see yourself now being, I know you want to fight obviously on a big card, but main event type of fighter after this one?
I haven't thought about it, but yeah.
When you look at the division, obviously you want AJ. Who are some of the other guys that, because they've been locked into the tournament?
But first of all, I want to say I didn't call anybody out. So what you guys trying to hear, you want this, you want that. All I want now is a Modelo and a burger, okay? That's what I want. So don't try to put something in my mouth I didn't say. I want to fight the best. We take that slowly. Slowly. We got that. Yeah, what was your question? Sorry.
How do you like your burger?
What burger I like?
How'd you like it?
In and out, baby.
Fat burger. We don't have fat burger in Denmark. In Denmark, we don't have McDonald's and Burger King. Shit. That's why every time I go to America, it's depressing because every time I go here, it's 2 months and it's usually for a fight and I can't eat all the bullshit you guys have over here. So and I see my coach Dennis, every time I come home, I'm eating, he's right over there with the mask, yeah, looking hella slick, the young Jason Statham. But, so every time I come back from practice, he's eating chicken wings, this and that, and I'm just sitting there with my salad like, fuck you, Dennis.
You get it with everything? You get it with it? You have a
I don't know, I just go in there and say, I want that. And that's it.
Get after it. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, there were a couple of 30-27s and there was a 29-28 that I'm curious how you scored the fight.
I won. That's what matters. Yeah.
So going into the third
I think actually I won all 3 rounds. But I can see that the uneducated eye would think that I got hit quite a lot when I walked him down and behind my guard and my shoulder roll. But it's part of strategy, like picking my shots into the body. He did hit me with a very good body shot in the second or the first. I was like, holy shit, that was good, but yeah.
We all seem to be enjoying you here. Are you as funny in Danish as you are in English?
I'm like the Danish Dave Chappelle.
All right, that's it for us. Thank you very much for the time, Matt.
Thank you guys. Have a good one. Have a good night.
Cheers.
Oh, wait a second.
Recording. I'm sorry, man. What is recording?
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
I take it we won't be getting Patricio.
Yo, I know.
Hmm?
Between two, you think? No, Coker and then AJ, I imagine. Not what's Patricio going to say. Right. He didn't say a word before the event, did he? Patricio? No. Now it's flying. I thought it was a risky strategy earlier on to do that. I thought it was a little risky anyway.
So let's just open it up. Got a question, raise your hand, we'll bring you a mic.
Scott, good to go? All right, Scott, congratulations on a great event. Talk to me about that main event. I mean, where do you think that goes down in Bellator history for moments?
I mean, that honestly was spectacular. I mean, you guys felt the energy in that room, and it was electric in there. And it had that big time, championship fight feeling. And, AJ did his thing, man. He was impressive. I mean, I've seen Pitbull fight for many years, and AJ did what he had to do, took care of business. It's won the tournament, won the $1 million. I think he's very happy right now.
And I know you love talking about when you first met him, and you used him as a great example of your prospect development. But did that performance even surprise you a little bit with how quick and dominant it was?
Yeah, the very beginning of that fight, I thought Pitbull was trying to lure him in, and just kind of lure him in to start throwing his hands and start putting some power on him. But, I think that AJ completely dominated the fight, and then I think, pretty much he was out, and then he was out again. It seemed like that, got choked out, and it was, it wasn't his night. Pitbull's a great fighter. He's been a great champion. I mean, AJ is just, he's a rising star that became a big star tonight.
Hey Scott, right back here. Obviously, a lot of talk going into the fight was that if AJ wins, the possibility of running it back at 155 for Pitbull's title. Just your initial thoughts on that strategy, or what you might have in mind for the future.
That's something that I know AJ has talked to me about it. His dad has talked to me about it, and but we haven't talked to Pitbull. I mean, listen, give the kid a little break. I'm talking about Pitbull. Give him a little break. Let him see what he wants to do. But we're going to start making some calls maybe in a week or so and see what his feeling on that is. But there will be a time where he's going to have to defend it, and I've heard rumblings that AJ, this might be his last fight at 45, that he's having a hard time making weight. So he might have to go up to 55 and fight up there. But it's something that he'll have to decide. His father and his coaches will have to decide, and it's just too premature to really determine that right now.
As the promoter, how do you build on just this moment for AJ Mckee? He's already been, the homegrown star. Just how do you, what is your part now in getting him even further out there and letting more people know just how special this kid is?
I mean, I think that if you look at the promotion behind this fight, I mean, I think that the PR team, the digital team, Showtime, everybody did, all parts I felt were really in alignment, and they did a great job promoting this fight. And I think you saw it here today. I mean, it was so nice to have fans here and to feel the energy. I mean, could you imagine if this fight was in a no audience event, place where we had to do it? I mean, it wouldn't have been the same. And so, to me, AJ had a lot of fans here. You could hear him, was passionate, and it was a great night.
The undercard felt like it was developing into Bellator Dagestan with Hassan, obviously Magomed Sharipov, Usman, Islam. Just can you talk a little bit about how everyone performed, and a lot of the guys seem to be, targeting that Fedor card in Moscow. Just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, we invited Usman to fight in Moscow because I don't think he's injured. So I talked to his manager before he left, and we're looking forward to having you fight again. We just want to keep him busy and keep him fighting, keep him developing. And listen, the fighters from that region have proven that they are dangerous and have, fought many different places and had dominance in a lot of areas. So to me, it's something that we're gonna find the stars or the fighters that we want to build or have them compete in Bellator, and then we're gonna continue to fight them. And I think you just saw a few tonight. And if you talk about the Russia card, I think we probably have 15, 20 really good Russian athletes, CIS territory athletes, and they're dangerous athletes over there. So we're looking for the world's best, and they're from that region as well.
And speaking of that Russian card and also, potentially other abroad cards, are you worried about the rising COVID cases and those cards actually happening? Is there any backup plan in case that doesn't happen?
I'll tell you, we are monitoring it closely, obviously. When we planned our France event, Paris event last year, when we planned it, it was half capacity. We're gonna have 10,000 people there. And then COVID hit, started getting rising, and we started getting cut. It was down to 1,000 people by the time we got there. And then the week after, there was nobody allowed to even come to the country. So, we're gonna be monitoring it. Hopefully, like in the UK, it's fully open. I think they're 85% vaccinated in the UK. So I feel good about that event. In Russia, I know they're doing what they need to do, and my feeling is that will be fully, a full scale event like this was. And maybe they might have some protocols with masks and things like that. But believe me, Vicom is really about protocols and making sure that all of our athletes and our staff, our production team is safe. So that's gonna be the number one priority moving forward. And if it changes, then we'll adapt. But right now, it's full steam ahead.
Would it be possible to take that entire card if, you can't go to Russia, bring it back to Connecticut, or is that just?
Yeah, I think about if that Russia card, because listen, Fedor wants to fight, and these guys want to fight, so we're gonna fight them. And so if Russia, if they're on lockdown and COVID starts ramping up to the point where we can't do it there, then of course we would find an alternate location. If it was something that we felt was gonna be a long-term situation, and we couldn't postpone it, let's say a month or two. But to me, we're gonna fight those guys, and if Russia doesn't work out, maybe we come back to New York or Chicago area.
Hey, Scott, down here to your left. You watched a lot of Patricio Pitbull fights in your career here in Bellator, and he'd only been finished one time before, and it was an injury against Pat Henderson in 2016. And AJ, beat him in 2 minutes and looked dominant. How do you put that into words exactly? It's
Spectacular. This kid is dynamite, and I think that I always felt, even AJ in those last 3 or 4 fights, I felt that he was going to be a big star for Bellator, and he himself is recognizing how his ability has grown and who he can fight, and he's got a lot of confidence. This kid's got a lot of swagger. But I'll tell you, he had a lot of swagger when I met him at 17. So this is nothing for him. He's always believed in this. He's always had this as part of his destiny. Growing up in his dad's school at 3 or 4 years old, and just growing up in the MMA community, this is nothing new for him. So he had a spectacular showing. It's probably one of the greatest finishes, I think, in the history of this company. And he fought a guy that was a killer. So this is not like he's fighting some guy that's just a contender. He's fighting a guy that has been the champ since we signed him back in 2014. So for the last 6-7 years, Pitbull's been the champ, and AJ's been growing and growing and growing. This was his opportunity to shine, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, Scott, sorry, I don't need the microphone. Scott, just carrying on from what Mark Raimondi was saying there about AJ, it's the people, isn't it, who decide on a star and on a champion, and we, as you say, really felt it in the arena tonight. Is he potentially the catalyst for Bellator to go perhaps onto mainstream CBS, to get him on big chat shows, which we perhaps haven't had so far from the Fight League?
Well, there is a plan in place for sure, and next year we are looking to do some specials with CBS and the parent network. But right now, I just want to enjoy this moment, and AJ enjoy this moment. But him fighting on big CBS, I'm sure CBS would love it. I'm sure AJ would love it. I'm sure it'd be good for everybody. So yeah, it's possible. And I'm sure that, you know, Showtime would love to have him fight on Showtime, and, you know, who knows, maybe, you know, he can become, you know, not just a linear star, but a cable star, and then, you know, he can just, you know, take it from there. I mean, pay-per-view is a possibility. He told me he wants the box, you know, so we'll see. I mean, you know, maybe he can fight one of the Logan Paul brothers one day.
But it was a massive statement when he said he wants to be the Mayweather of MMA, and he's taken the first step tonight, hasn't he?
Yep, he definitely has. I mean, you saw it. I mean, the crowd loved him. You know, this kid is special, and he's not afraid of anything, and he rose to the occasion, and I think you're going to see that a lot in his future performances.
Thank you.
Hey Scott, over here. We talk a lot about AJ, and you know, he's just 26, so he's just coming into his physical prime. What do you see about him in terms of his growth as a fighter? And can you talk about the intangibles that he has? What makes him unique to handle this kind of pressure? I mean, he seemed totally at ease in front of this crowd that expected him to win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Josh, when I look at this kid, he's got striking, he's got the wrestling, he's got the jiu-jitsu, he's a complete fighter. And he's been that way for a beat, you know, for a while. I think for the last 4, 5, 6 fights. And so, you know, he was ready to take a step, I think, a little while ago. But you know, when you look at what is his weakness, you know, even I talked to his coaches before the fight, maybe a month ago, and they said this is going to be a tough fight because the kid has no weaknesses. Even they recognize that. Anything can happen. Pitbull is dangerous. He's got a lot of power. You know, he's always, you know, as far as I'm concerned, when I watch his performance in the past, he's never out of a fight. I mean, this kid has dynamite in both hands, and so, and a great submission game. So, you know, when I think about, you know, AJ and his game, it's going to be a tough kid to beat in the future, and this is the future of MMA. A kid, you know, a kid that can do it all like this. And you know, Josh, you know, he's been doing this since he's 3, 4 years old. He grew up in the gym. This is nothing new for him. So, you know, he's special, and his dad told me when he came to my office, you know, 5, 6 years ago, he said, "This is the kid. He's special. I'm telling you right now." And you know, he was right. The dad knew it. It's just part of his destiny.
One more, Casey. Hey, Scott. This is just a simple question, but can you confidently say, regardless of promotion, is AJ Mckee the best featherweight in the world?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would love to see him fight, you know, against other people as well, as you guys would also. It's not gonna happen because it's not the UFC's business model to do it. But you tell me this kid couldn't go in there and fight anybody right now, everybody knows he can do it. So, if they wanna get it on, then we'll do it in a second. So, that's how I feel.
All right, great, thanks for the time,
Okay,
Scott.
thanks guys.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, AJ, we'll get this in just a minute.
AJ Mckee, come on now.
No.
What's that? No, I'm on my live stream, so I'm telling my people. Like, subscribe. Hot mic, by the way, Garrett. So be careful you talk to us about right now. Go fuck yourself. And all your subscribers. Yeah. You just tell people don't subscribe. Get the hell out of here. Well, the one person, your mother is watching your brother. Drop. Hey, actually getting more subscribers. Yeah, exactly. Love both. I'll put you on camera once we get AJ out there to jump on me. Scott goes a little bit bashful about in these moments. Association. I mean, he's the man. But Scott. No, Scott.
I'm David.
Like Scott probably says like he's the best featherweight in the world. Talk to me.
We're live.
Haven't been here for a long time. How are you? I hear you became a dad. Yes.
Yes, I have.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I was okay. I'm glad you're here tonight.
What do
Saw
you
the,
think? What do
saw
you,
the coronation of a very potentially huge star.
one of the best powerful powers, hands down. He's undefeated.
You could make
He
an
kicks, he
argument that
punches.
he's in the top 4 or 5 in the world pound for pound.
Yeah, I haven't.
No question. No question.
Who's number one in your book?
Still John Jones.
Who's number two?
Are you including girls? Amanda Nunes would be number
Amanda Nunes, number 2, yeah.
And then
I still think John
Mckee
Jones.
3.
Really?
No, Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz has got to be right up there. I mean, he just lost. I mean, I can't think right now, but this guy, I mean, after that performance, the way he dealt with it, I mean, you could easily put him in the top 5. You know, I do, look, anyone that comes out with that kind of swag, you've done things in the gym that you have not seen yet. You've done things to people. You know them, you know where they're from.
Yeah, I've seen him. I've seen him train.
He's legit, he's got a legit following.
Yeah, he's good
Having a
skills.
following, you know, it's like I was saying to Scott.
Sold out a state
The
arena.
people decide when you become a star. You can be a fucking champion
Correct.
a million
Nobody
times
cares.
over. Nobody cares about you.
We've seen it.
Yeah, we've been around it all our careers. If someone, here he comes anyway.
It's crazy how it's
Hard work, determination.
All right, we are now being driven by 7-year world champion, AJ Mckee. AJ, over here to your right. First and foremost, congratulations on the win. I know this is something that you've envisioned for a long time, and as you sit up there right now, I mean, does it feel as sweet as you expected it to?
Yeah. It's been 22 years in the making, so, man, to do it the way I did it, I said I was gonna do it in a stylistic fashion, you know? Done in one. When I rocked him, I was just like, that's it. I just knew it, you know, after the head kick, I hit him with that uppercut, and I don't know, I saw him quit. He didn't need it anymore. But, like the ref says, don't stop punching until I tell you to.
You made, you made your Bellator debut in April 2015, and you talked about numerous times in the past how Pitbull was the guy that you always had your sights set on. So when you envisioned that fight over time throughout the years, I mean, was that what you expected here tonight, a quick finish like that, or did you think that it was going to be more of a battle?
Honestly, I dreamt the fight. I knew I won the fight. I prayed about it, and same night I had a vision. So I knew I had victory, but it wasn't the dream that I had, which is peculiar. So looking into it now, maybe that's the 155-pound title that I saw, you know, and I don't know. I'm just enjoying this moment, man. I knew it was gonna come. Just having favor in Most High and just staying prayed up, blessed up, you know. This is his moment. Shine through me.
And everybody's always referred to your stardom as star potential, and I think tonight people saw that you are a star. That crowd out there was wild. You're the #1 trending topic in the United States right now on social media. I mean, were you even surprised at the ovation you got out there and everything that transpired?
Nah, I knew it, man. I sold more in tickets than I get paid. Like, I knew this whole arena was there for me, but you know, it's just phenomenal to have that much support. You know, the only thing that could compare to that was when Alima Lay fought in Hawaii and I was on her card. So I knew what kind of to expect from the crowd, you know, and it was just surreal, man, to have all those people there just behind you, you know what I mean, doing it not just for you, your family, yourself, but for the city. And man, it's just a blessing.
You mentioned you waited 22 years for this, and that is not a long time. When you think about, you know, how long other champions have waited to become champions. So what's next? You have a long career ahead of you.
Champ. You know, technically these are one. So for me, it's to make this become 2. Yeah, that's the next step, you know. Being at 145 pounds isn't the easiest. Maybe we get some super fights going, but I'm pretty much done with the division at 145 pounds. So hop up to 155 pounds, you know. He's the best 145er. Was the best. I've pretty much been saying it, you know. Now people are seeing it, people are believing it. I am the best 145 pounder in the world. whether it's UFC, 1FC, PFL, I don't care who it is. I got $1 million cash in my bank. I'm willing to put that up against anybody else. You know, I'm sure Showtime, Bellator, they'll match it. Let's do some super fights. Let's get some big stuff going. Let's change this sport like I've been saying. We can do it. Unify these belts.
Was this your last featherweight fight?
Depends. Depends. It honestly depends. It depends on who steps up to the line, you know what I mean? Health is key. Making 145 pounds it's I can do it, you know what I mean? But as I get older, as I get bigger, as I get stronger, as I become more of a man, obviously it's gonna get harder and harder and harder. So I've been wanting to move up. COVID, so forth, things have come into play to where it's kept me here a little bit longer than I expected, but man, God's time is perfect timing, and I'm enjoying it all, embracing it all in this moment.
Sometimes we see fighters or celebrities get their fame real young and kind of lose themselves. How do you plan on staying grounded?
I lost myself before the fame came. Straight up. So, yeah, I'm ready. Embrace it all, you know, live your best life and just stay focused, man. And like I said, man, this wasn't my victory tonight. This is the man upstairs. This is his victory.
AJ right here. Did you have nachos backstage?
I did not.
It's all
And my
good.
dad ate my damn Snickers. I was looking forward to it, but he ate it, so I'm bummed.
Hey, can you talk about the team you had with you? Obviously, Dad was in the corner, but I saw Rampage Jackson, who obviously you've known for such a long time since you were a kid. Can you talk about your corner?
So my corner, Pops, you know, he's always the head. Rampage was the second. He's been there through this journey, watching me. You know, I remember when he was fighting in his Pride days. You know, we'd go up to Big Bear. He was doing his camps up there, and just watching him. You know, so from that, and then him putting on his own amateur shows, to being able to fight on the amateur shows, winning his amateur division, and that was the fight Scott came to. So I didn't even know who Scott was at the time, but just to have people there in the audience scoping you out like that, you know what I mean? And just feeling and knowing what I was capable of. Like, I'm gonna go put on a show, and I'm gonna steal the show, and I'm gonna be a champion. Like, that was the goal that night, you know what I mean? That was the goal of the night, and it's nice to see all the hard work pay off.
Can you talk a little bit, were you able to exchange any words with Pitbull after the fight, anything else?
Yeah, he said he wasn't out. Maybe he wasn't satisfied, but I could put him out again. He's got that 55-pound title, so like I said, champ. I want all the belts.
I know competitively you obviously want that strap, but personally, the rivalry, is it, as they say, is it over? Or is it, you know, do you feel like there's still more to be said between you two, even if he wasn't the champion, for example?
He's not satisfied. We can do it again. I got no problem. He didn't land a punch. I'll give you another opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Real quick question. What are you gonna do with that big giant check? I mean, like literally the check. Are you gonna frame it?
Frame it before it's there. I don't know. Might auction it, something, who knows? We'll figure it out one day. Figure it out one day.
If you do, make sure you make it like a TikTok video of you going to the bank and trying to deposit it.
That big ass thing, will they even take it?
Yeah.
Will they? They're like signing it back. I'm like, there's no spot for that.
Also, the head kick, was that something you always envisioned from the very first time you saw Pitbull fight, or is it very particular that this camp?
Yeah, no, it wasn't the head kick, but I knew it was gonna be a left kick. We have video footage of me saying, quoted, it will be a left kick, either the body or the head. So maybe we could release that too now. Like I said, it's just adapting while you're in there and being able to dissect things. I knew he watched me training in the backstage, so he was gonna stay to the right and kind of keep his distance and watch the teep kicks coming forward. So I thought I'd switch it up, show him my absolute lengthiest range, and tell him if he comes forward that something tragic's gonna happen. So I was throwing the John Jones kicks to his knees to let him know, like, you come in here, you're gonna have to deal with something. And then he threw that one jab, and that was it. He was like, geez, he read that, you know what I mean? So it was just keeping him at bay. That was the key, you know. And then I started attacking the outside leg. He didn't like that outside leg kick, you know, and that was only one of them. So from there, he started circling to the opposite way. At that point, now I'm thinking attacks left side, but he was so focused on the left hand, he didn't think anything about the kicks.
AJ Mckee, 18-0, every victory's been in Bellator. It's a rarity these days. Would you say with confidence, $1 Million Man, that you are the face of this promotion?
Hands down. Hands down. I've been the man since I stepped in this cage.
Of these three names at 145, who would you say would be the biggest challenge for you?
None of them.
Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, or Alex Volkanovski?
I would say Max Holloway. That was always my dream fight, super fight as a kid, you know. I've watched him just pick apart people. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm the best 145-pounder in the world. The world. I don't care who it is. I'm gonna show up and show out every time.
What's the first thing you're gonna purchase with that $1 million?
Not the car.
No,
Can
hell
I please?
no.
GT2 RS, baby?
You guys want to see him fight, you don't need no fast car.
Is that or a Ducati? I keep trying to get that or a Ducati, but he doesn't want me on two wheels, so I don't know, man. I really don't know. We'll see. I read that quote, you know, you can't buy it 10 times, don't buy it. So that GT2 RS, I need about another 3 mil. So I don't know yet. We'll see. We shall see. I really have no idea. I haven't even processed it yet.
AJ, congratulations. My favorite part of your walkout was when you threw all the money. Whose idea was that? Was that your idea?
Yeah, actually, well, I think Pops came up with it, you know? We call him the wizard. He comes up with all kind of things. Especially me just trying to be the money man, you know what I mean? Trying to set the bar high and show people, like, at the end of the day, the money isn't the motive, but it's nice to have it in the bank. So, you know, I think that's gonna be my new thing, making it rain when I walk out.
And when I talked to you before the fight, I asked you what's gonna be your celebratory dinner. What is the first thing you're gonna do once you leave this venue? Is it gonna be popping bottles of champagne, or do we have Krispy Kreme on the way already?
Well, we already popped one bottle, so we might as well keep it going. I got a little after party going, so I'm gonna hang out with all my friends and family and just enjoy the night. Maybe get some Astros on the way delivered there. We'll see.
Awesome, congratulations.
Thank you.
Gareth and then Josh.
AJ, congratulations. You're a stupendous young champion. Obviously you're thanking the Lord as well for your victory, but maybe you could say a few words about your father. He's always by your side. We all know him. He never stops talking about you. But maybe you could say about getting to this point and what it would have been like without having him here.
I don't think I'd be here without him. Actually, I wouldn't be here without him. That's a fact. Just going through the things that I went through early on, he's kind of just sat by my side and let me take my own course, you know? He's not like a parent that's gonna tell you, you have to do this, you have to do this. Like, at the end of the day, he never wanted me fighting, because he knows what this sport is about. Him being a first-generation fighter coming in making $50, fighting in wrestling shoes, like, it's a different world, you know what I mean? To now, got $1 million checks. There's actually a reasonable amount of money in the sport. So he's like, man, you're different, but you have to realize you're different and put the work in. If you don't put the work in, then it's like you're just wasting your talent. So over the years, he's just kind of kept me by his side, kept me by his side until, like, I'd say about, what, last 6 months?
6 months ago.
6 months ago, he gave me the clear to just become my own man. And I can honestly say, when I look in the mirror now, I look and I'm like, damn, you are becoming your own man at 26. Like, doing things on your own, you know what I mean? Taking care of my 15-year-old brother. So it's like, I'm taking on roles where you don't have time to be a kid and mess around and play, you know what I mean? You gotta just focus, buckle down, and just, man, adapt, you know? That's the key to life, it's the key to fighting, you know? When things get rough, when things go hard, what are you gonna do? Either you fold, give in, or you bite down, and you buckle up.
And finally from me, do you intend to stay as active as you possibly can be?
Definitely.
Like 3-4 times a year?
Definitely. If I'm knocking people out first rounds, run it back. Let's go 2 months from now. What's up? Especially if I'm going up to 55s.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, AJ, congratulations.
Thank you.
You talked about the fight before that, you know, your grandfather left you, had his commemoration in your house. Your dad had a championship belt, and now you have it as well. Can you just talk about what that means to you?
Man, it's just, this is the beginning to my legacy, and now I could go get my picture taken, you know what I mean? Put mine next to my dad's, you know? I've stared at that thing for years. Like, I'm gonna get that one day, I'm gonna get that one day. Even my amateur belts, like, they're cool, but this is something different right here, you know? This is, it's all his hard work. All his hard work, all my hard work, and it's all put together. The time, the days in, the days out, the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, like everything all together. So, I don't know, man, it's for real. I still haven't, how many names are in 16? That's the one, that's going right above my bed. We put this one in gym, Dad. This one's going above my bed.
And you're 26, and you're just now entering in your physical prime. I asked you before the fight, do you feel like a man? And you said, yeah, you're starting to feel physically like a man. How much better of a fighter can you be 5 years from now than you are today?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. You know, keep reaching new plateaus, stay in the gym. I'll be in the gym Monday. No days off, you know? That's, even though I won a world championship, like, right back in the gym. I got teammates that need me. They need to learn, they need to adapt and evolve as well. So, and like I said, I'm the older one in the gym. Jesus, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was always that young kid. So, like, now I'm the older one. Like, I gotta motivate these guys and show them, like, this is how you become the best. The countless days in, the countless hours. So, that's what I'm looking forward to, is getting back in the gym and sitting down with my father, my manager, and see what's next. Sit down with Bellator as well.
Last thing for me, can you share your day with us? Where did you sleep? Where did you wake up? What did you think about? How did you feel before this moment, hitting the forum and knowing what was in front of you?
I woke up, I tried to go downstairs and eat. Funny thing, 11:11 was what time we got downstairs. The guy closed the restaurant. No, you guys can't sit down and eat. So I had to go get food. And I'm like, man, like, whatever. Like, I'm not missing breakfast. This is a must. So we went to go grab some food, came back, ate the food, went to sleep, woke up, stressed out about some tickets a little bit. I don't know, I'm like my dad. I stay busy, and in the chaoticness, we find comfort, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean? It keeps our mind busy and focused on everything else besides what we need to focus on. But in the back of our mind, we're still focused the entire time. So, like, I just kept doing things after and after and after, you know, one after another. Got the tickets taken care of. Got the sweatsuits taken care of for everybody. Got dressed. What did we do? Then we went downstairs, hopped on the bus, came to the venue, and that was it.
And once you got here, you felt at home. How'd you
Oh
feel?
yeah. Once I got here, I went out and saw the arena, saw how many people were here. I wanted to just kind of embrace it, you know what I mean? Just to know how much went into this moment, you know, from Showtime to Bellator to all my friends, my family, like, they're all here. So I just wanted to go out there and show them some love beforehand and get warmed up, man. It's motivation, you know, just embracing it. And I think that's the big key. A lot of fighters aren't able to embrace it. So that's a big key, is embrace it, embrace it, embrace it. Like, I love the cameras now.
All right, last two questions. One from Randall.
AJ, back here. You talked about the 7 O's and, you know, the one at the end of the checks, the one at the end of your record. Now you finally accomplished that. How do you feel?
I feel accomplished, but I'm ready for another goal, you know? Like the song I wanted to walk out to, Hippie Sabotage, it's never enough. It's never enough, you know? Until I'm making them Floyd checks, 100 mil, it's never enough. And even when I make that, it's still not enough.
Now, Rampage talked about that you would do your dad's revenge on this sport. Do you feel like you've done that already?
Nah, this is just the beginning. We are finally getting the respect and recognition we deserve, but now you got a price to pay for the disrespect. Nothing goes unsolved.
First of all, big congratulations, you did it. I gotta ask you this, where do you place yourself on the pound-for-pound list of all divisions?
Number one. Number one.
And then Scott mentioned that you're thinking of boxing, he mentioned the Paul brothers. But realistically, look, Bellator's on Showtime, Showtime have a lot of boxing. Which Showtime fighter would you be interested in fighting?
Floyd.
And what would happen in that fight?
I would have a lot of respect for him. Straight up. I'm the best in my sport, he's the best at his sport. I would just enjoy sharing that moment with him. You know what I mean? He's like my dad. I call my dad my antique. If you going hard with my antique in the gym, I'll fuck you up. Straight up. Be careful. You hurt my antique, we got a problem. So it's like these younger guys that aren't in the sport like that, no disrespect, but they have something to prove. I don't have anything to come into this boxing sport and prove against Floyd. Like, it's just me wanting to be acknowledged as the best in my sport and sharing a moment with another great in his sport. And that's where I would enjoy that moment. And hopefully it'll happen one day. He told me he doesn't fight anymore, so I'm like, all right, cool. You never know, man. You never know.
My last question, you looked at your phone, how many text messages, how many phone calls have you gotten since the fight ended?
Shit, I'm still scrolling, dog.
Congratulations.
Should we check this one?
2 phones.
Yeah, that's more problems.
You gonna get back to everybody?
Look, you saw how far I was scrolling? This is the phone nobody's supposed to have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're good. Thank you guys.
Thanks, AJ.
Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
Photo with your belt?
For sure.
Are they happy?
Yeah, I still haven't figured out how to hold it.
Problems with rich people.
And also Patricio will be coming after AJ. Yeah. Shout out to the forum. We're all taken care of. Time to get my name on the red wall, baby. Let's do it. Woo.
Where's the dog at?
Loki, he's at home. He's at home. I only had one pit bull to walk tonight. Hey, can y'all help me? Yeah, I got too much stuff to carry, yo. Yeah, let's go this way. What do you need? Brian. Congrats, AJ. Thank you, guys.
When did you start that?
What's up, man? I'm doing it tonight. You're gonna have a place if I can look for
Really big song. The danger is
I don't have to worry about my son. He's doing it the right way, but we still operate with that integrity. I've always been a man of integrity and honor, and I'll die that way. And I just tell him he doesn't have to work so hard because he's so gifted. You know, we've been doing this since he was 5 years old. How could he not be better than everybody else? It's in his blood, in a sport that's not, it's not even respected as a sport yet, it's still entertainment. But we want to bring it to where it's a legitimate sport, you can unify the belts, and he can get the money that he deserves for the damage that's done in his body. Nobody talks about the pain and the suffering when he blew out his knee, crying and laughing at the same time because he didn't want to show me he was weak. You know what I mean? Nobody talks about that. They see the victory. They don't see the downside to this. The drugs, the alcohol, the womanizing. No, we're going to do it the right way.
Antonio,
Yes, sir.
congrats on this moment, man. What does this mean for you, man? You guys spoke into existence. You've been chasing Pitbull since like 2016.
Yeah.
He's the world champion now. How does this feel for you?
You know, I feel good, but, you know, I'm not satisfied yet. We still got things to accomplish. If anything, the challenge is real now. Now is where the life things that I've put in it and instilled in me. Now those things are getting ready to have to be exercised. Because the fight game was easy. That was easy. This is going to be the hard part. From here out, now what? Stay grounded with God. keep your integrity and due diligence and keep working hard.
Antonio, can you talk in stripped away terms? You always talk about your son and how brilliant he's been and that you're living through him almost vicariously.
Right.
As a father, how proud are you of him tonight? How he carried himself tonight?
I expect nothing less. You know what I mean? I'm not really the emotional guy. It's not how I move. But I'm proud, but I'm not like everybody else, you know what I mean? And I want him to understand and feel the pressure, but then embrace the reality of it. Is look at what your hard work is different. To me, this is just the beginning.
And you don't seem very different to what you were like yesterday outside at the weigh-in when we chatted and you went, hey, job's done, believe
You know,
me.
when you're a man of God and you serve God and you do it the right way, you get the wisdom and the visions. And if it's not the God, then it's the spiritual realm, whatever you want to call it. I'm not into religion, but there is something on the other side. And I believe that we connect to it the right way, the right things happen. And so that's what we focus on. We pray in, we pray out. You know, we're praying every day. He gave all the credit, not to his dad, he gave the credit to the creator of all mankind.
But he said he couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, I believe that. He's got an edge ahead of everybody else.
Congratulations.
Tony, I know this is yours and McKee's, AJ's moment, but you've been kind of avoiding the Dana White questions. I wanted to ask you about Dana White in particular, because AJ one time said Dana White will know my name. Do you think Dana White's watching right now?
Well, I mean, you know, I don't want to jeopardize my son's career, but I personally think he's a piece of shit. It is what it is. I mean, I'm a man. I just, you know, I really have a hard time, you know, but my son is the best fighter in the world. I like Dana or Dana likes me. It doesn't matter to me. He's different. He's AJ McKee. I'm just a coach. So I won't get involved in his relationships with Dana if he decides to go to UFC, whatever his career is. But it's only just for the benefit of my son. You know.
If Dana's watching right now, what do you think he's thinking in terms of his ability to just naturally as a fighter?
Well, he should be thankful that he lit a fire up under my son's ass when he kicked him out of the Nationals because he was in the back with Rampage and I was training Rampage at the time. Dana kicked him out the back and he asked him what his name was. He says, I'm AJ McKee. And he said, you remember my name. And, hey, ain't nothing like this type of victory. But still, we want to stay humble, you know what I mean? We don't want to be cocky or arrogant about it, but, you know, it is what it is. Show us. Show the world. What's up, man?
You going back on bus?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got back to the bus.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, guys, thank you so much.
Shout out to Devonta Tank Davis for being that way.
Oh, no, such
Patricio's coming.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It's not a fan, for sure. Yeah, I'll take that.
Mike? Mike?
Yeah. Patricio Pitbull.
Pitbull, straight back here. Patricio, obviously the fight didn't go the way you expected. Can you just give us your initial thoughts after everything now that it's been a minute?
In this night, it was great. He kicked my head, and he almost knocked me out, and he almost finished me at the same night. So he was good. Congratulations. Now he's the champ.
Did anything surprise you about what he brought out there? Was he faster, stronger, or anything in that little bit you fought?
No, I knew that. It was a mistake. I was used to that, but he was very well this night.
We spoke with AJ recently. He said that he talked with you a little bit and said that you told him that you were not out. Can you just tell us your side, what you said to him?
Yeah, I watched the fight. I knew I wasn't asleep, but I saw my hands like this slowly. I was standing, but rules, that's it. A fighter want to fight to the end. That's my mind.
There's a lot of talk about what's next, like would you want to run it back at 155? Do you want to stay at 145? Can you just talk a little bit about what you think might be next for you?
I spent a lot of years without being defeated, and today is a new day for me. It's a different kind of feeling, and I want to rest a little bit, enjoy my son, my wife, but I will come back stronger. I know that. Everyone say that when they have defeat, but I am different.
Patricio, right down here in front of you, you say that, this is a feeling you haven't experienced much in a long time. I think 2016 was the last time, and that was an injury. So do you feel like in a weird way that this could kind of light a fire under you and make you have even more motivation going forward?
I'm always motivated, I don't know, my debut was in 2004, and now I have a lot of years fighting and dedicate myself in this game. And I'm hungry every time, but I know now I need a break, a little break.
Thanks.
You have your son here with you, and I'm curious if you're gonna use this experience to show him what it's like to lose.
Sorry.
How you respond to a loss.
Sorry. No,
I already told him, son, today was a bad day, but it's part of the life. And for me, he's happy, he's little boy, and he doesn't understand very well, but I know he's gonna remember this.
What was his favorite part of fight week?
Stay with my family and bring them to the chaos, but he's still in love with them. it's nice.
Patricio, over here to your right, staring at Thea. You were asked just now, obviously you're going to have time to think about it, and you know, we know how competitive you are and how motivated you are. Is it possible in a week's time where you think, do you know what, this guy just took the 145 belt from me, I want to fight the same guy at 155?
You said that?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm asking you, if maybe in a week's time.
Before the fight, I think he told somebody something like this, and it's a good thing, you know. He beat me in the featherweight division. I know he's big. He has trouble to cut weight, and let's think about it. I have a belt. I still a world champion.
Thank you.
If we do something like that, this time I'd like for it to be in Brazil. This guy's been in here for 10 years, double champ, winningest fighter in Bellator history, most title defenses. Why are we fighting in Los Angeles? He's the champ. We're fighting in the challenger's hometown. Next one, great, he won. Give it all to him. He slept in his own bed. He's a legend. His dad's a legend here, born and raised here. He's born and raised here. 99% of the fans cheering for AJ. We're in his house, yet he's the double champ. Great, he won. Let's do it in Brazil next. One time, bring it to Brazil for the champ.
Was it disappointing that they were booing you on the way in?
I'm used to it. It's been part of the game. I'm fighting his now. It's normal. I don't care.
Thank you.
I'd like to say Brazilians don't care, but Americans do. 16 games in NFL I played to get home field advantage. 180 in baseball. He's the world champ. I mean, when you ask a warrior, hey, where do you want to fight? They say anywhere, anytime. But obviously not in the hometown of the challenger, giving them all the advantage, the youth, the range, the reach, and then throw all the home field advantage where he's sleeping and training in his own gym. We traveled 36 hours to get here. I mean, let's switch it up one time.
That's why he's my coach.
Yeah.
He's right. I agree.
Pitbull, what do you tell your fans, people who love you and support you right now?
Can you say it again?
What do you tell people who love you and support you, your fanáticos?
Just thank you everyone who was sharing for me. I am good. My mother was crying, and I know it's a bad night for us, but stay the sport. Let's do it again.
Obrigado.
Obrigado. Do you know what? I'm glad he came out. That was a fucking good interview. That was a fucking good
Já não sou igual a Ronaldo, né, Patrick? Ronaldo, se paga Pepsi, você paga Pepsi. Aí eu mostro que é patrocinador, velho.
On my phone tonight, so
Can't go on? Yeah, I don't know.
all the videos will be on YouTube. It's pretty dope. First time I fight back, so.
Hey, thank you all for being here.
Thank you for having us, sir.
Appreciate you guys. Look at the feeling like.